Hello, David here again. Oh man, this interesting morning. I've been cracking secrets in Genesis like mad for a long time now. And it's not me. God just leads me to the different dots. I mean, all I do is, and I don't even know I'm doing it. Like I watched on Nova about black holes the other night. Just had an urge to watch about black holes. And I didn't know I was going to crack this a secret in Genesis about dividing light from day. That just happened. But the Spirit is, I've cracked so many secrets in Genesis. There's so many secrets in Genesis that no one knows. It's insane. But anyway, let me show you my most recent one. I just released a video about the time secret in Genesis. But I just cracked another secret. And I say it's like it's not. God just leads me this stuff, and then I figure it out because God knows about it. So I can't say it's me, other than I don't know. I mean, I guess I was smart enough to, once he put all the dots in front of my face that I could connect them. So I was smart enough to connect the dots, but that's about it. But let me show you this last secret. This is bizarre, and I know I'm right. It has to be right. In Genesis 1:4, it says, "And God saw the light that it was good." Now, he didn't say the darkness was good. He didn't say anything about darkness being good. But he saw the light and he said that was good. And then what's interesting here, and God divided the light from the darkness. And there's a more deeper meaning to what that means. And I'm not going to go into that secret. But I knew there was something there when he didn't say the darkness was good. And then when I seen the word divide, that really popped out spiritually to me, because remember, God said to Abraham, be separate. So when I saw the word divide, I knew there was something there. I thought something's going on here. There's something going on, because he called the light good, then he divided it. He divided them, right? Separated them. And when I heard the word divide, Abraham popped into my brain about how God separated Abraham, and how my revelation of time, um, my revelation of time, I realized that there was a division between Adam and Eve, who were like sons of God, and the people that were living on earth, which the fossil record bears. So I knew that Adam and Eve were separated. So when I seen the word divide here, I knew there was something here. So anyway, to move on, he divided the light from the darkness. Then it goes on, he says he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Let me pause this a second. And there's probably another secret here that I'm not seeing, because I just read this part just now, and it says, and he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And he says, in the evening and the morning were the first day. I don't think I have a revelation to understand exactly what that means. I'm going to have to work on that one. The only thing that really comes to mind is that light has spectrums, right? We only see certain spectrums of light. So there's different degrees and different levels of light, right? But then there's a true light, which most people know as God, right? And then there's a true darkness, right? There's a total darkness, which people refer to as hell, right? That's the extreme extremes. Like if you see Jesus, he'll shine in bright light. That's when you reach the pinnacle of the light. But if you go into the complete darkness, well, then that's kind of what you find in hell. And of course, there's a division with that too, right? But what I'm seeing here in the physical realm, there's a physical division in the two physical realms. And the division, what I'm seeing here is the only way you can divide light in the physical realm, and the division in the physical realm is by a black hole, right? Because light can't escape a black hole. So I think when God divided those lights at that point, he put a supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy. He called he caused the black hole to go down, and that divided light, because that's the only place where you can truly 100% divide light from darkness is a black hole, because light can't escape a black hole. And scientists know that black holes, can't have a galaxy without them, right? You can't have life in our galaxy. You can't have a galaxy that stays together without the black hole in the center. It doesn't work. Nothing would hold together. Now it's good in the sense that it holds the galaxy together, but if you get too close to the darkness, then there's a point of no return that light can't even escape. And I suppose it's the same for people that die spiritually. We're always in a spiritual place. We're always in a spiritual place. For example, when people speak a word, it has a degree of light to it. And not every word that we speak, when someone preaches and they're under the anointing, that word's a more brighter, you could say. And it doesn't mean it's perfect brightness, right? If it was perfect brightness, it would probably, if someone preached in perfect brightness, I think it would knock people over if they had any darkness in them. Just like in Sandra, I was watching Sandra Kennedy's episode where she pointed her fingers and light hit this warlock and knocked him over. I guess depending on the degree of darkness in you, but when we speak, obviously, it's not perfect, right? There's still a degree of darkness always in us because Jesus said we're not good. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into this. I'm just seeing that without a supermassive black hole, you can't have a universe. It doesn't exist. So when God separated the light from the darkness, that's the only true separation that you can have, is a supermassive black hole. Otherwise, light, it keeps going. The photons, like we can get light here on Earth from an event that happens in space, and it can travel millions and millions of light years until it finally gets us. That means the light keeps traveling, right? Now, the only thing that there's only one thing that separates, that we know of in the universe, as far as I know, I'm not a scientist, is a supermassive black hole. If that light hits a supermassive black hole, then it doesn't escape. So that a supermassive black hole is the only true separation of the light from the darkness. And every galaxy has to have, if we didn't have a supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy, and every single galaxy that they look out in space has a supermassive black hole. And I'm not talking about a little black hole Like if you have a sun that's about 15 times the size of our sun, and it goes supernova, that'll create a small black hole. But what's interesting is these black holes join together, because sometimes these black holes like join together, then they become larger. And that's even a spiritual thing as far as spirit, right? If in the days of Noah, people waxed more evil and evil, as that evil joined together, it grew, right? And it grew to a point where, you know, it was unstoppable in the days of Noah, because that's the way the human heart is. That evil continued to grow, and people got more and more violent, and it's just a spiritual condition of the heart. But I don't want to go in that direction. But we do know that evil can join. Evil can feed on itself, just like when Christians join together and have a revival, and everybody's together in one accord. That can cause, a better. That can kind of like rub off on each other, and everybody can be illuminated from it, right? But I really think the scripture here and Jesus also, let me say one more thing. Jesus also backs up that he knew about black holes, because he said in the last days, stars would fall out of the sky. He said this 2,000 years ago, before Einstein ever came up with, Einstein didn't actually come up with the equation. And a guy took Einstein's equation and said, look, you can make a black hole out of your equation. Here's a black hole. And Einstein really didn't believe it was possible. But he was able to figure it out. And then Einstein, once he looked at the math, said, yep. But he wasn't really sure they really existed, but they do. It's just like people don't believe that spiritual things exist. Huh. Let me pause this for a second. But Jesus said in the last days, and scientists knows that these black holes are growing bigger and bigger. They were hoping by, is his name Stephen Hawking, thought that maybe they would get smaller and dissipate. But so far, there's no evidence that that's true. These things are growing. These black holes are getting bigger and bigger. And Jesus said in the last days, the stars will fall out of the sky. And we know that these black holes are out there growing and getting bigger and bigger. And Jesus didn't say they were good. Right here in Genesis, it says, and God said the light was good. He didn't say anything about the darkness being good. God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. But he didn't say that the darkness was good. He didn't say that. Then, you see, he divided the light from the darkness. And there's only one way you can do that. Black holes. And they're growing. And Jesus said that they would gobble up the stars in the sky. And that's the only way you can separate. But we needed that for a galaxy to hold together. We needed that black hole in the center. I guess God could have made another way. But he had a time frame plan for, he said that heaven and earth would pass away. He had a time frame for all this stuff. A beginning and an end, because he got it all planned out. You're going to create a new heaven and a new earth. And there's not going to be black holes. There's not going to be black holes that's going to gobble everything up. Like, have you ever watched the movie The Langoliers? Stephen King's movie The Langoliers, where these entities gobble up all the matter as time gets behind. Well, Einstein said that this is space and time, and yes, there are some Langoliers out there, and they're not Langoliers, they're called black holes. They're going to gobble it all up. Anyway, I'm done.